Hi guys, welcome back to another new reading. It's new moon time once again, but more than that, it's an even more special occasion. This is the time of Navratras, or the Hindu auspicious occasion of 9 days of worshipping of Mother, the Divine Feminine, the Supreme Divine Feminine, or Devi, in her various aspects, in her various manifestations. So this is a beautiful time, and this is a perfect time for healing the Divine Feminine version inside us. Now quickly I want to mention that the Divine Feminine version is an aspect of us, an energy which is not just a part of females, but it is also a part of every single male on this planet. In fact, it is the balance of the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine aspects that make for a balanced, harmonious person, whether that is a female or a male. And every male and every female has both Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine versions inside them, and both these versions, both these energies together form a unified whole. As we also say, Shiva and Shakti, it is their combination, it is the union of these energies which results in the ultimate divine balance. So with the more mortal human beings, it is the perfect balance of the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energies inside us, which are required, which are essential absolutely for us leading powerfully authentic and empowered whole lives in every way, in every aspect of our existence. So this reading is therefore devoted to the Divine Feminine aspect, to the Mother, this being Navratras, 9 days when the Mother is worshipped. And I'm going to be focusing on this aspect in all the piles. This is pick a pile reading, pile A, pile B and pile C once again. So I've also attached a picture for greater clarity, and you can pause the video, go ahead if you haven't already done so, and choose one pile quickly. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then instinctively when you open your eyes, the first picture which guides you, or the first picture which attracts you, is the pile that you can choose. This is pile A, pile B and pile C. Pile A is a picture of Mother Bhumi or Mother Earth. Pile B has on top, on the face of it, picture of Mother Ganga, Holy Mother Ganga, a goddess of heavenly ambrosia. And pile C has on top the Divine Feminine version of the Gayatri Devi, Mother of Devotion. So when you choose a pile, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the only aspect of the Divine Mother that you worship or you feel connected to. It is only an aspect that guides you at this moment to reveal the answers that you and your higher self and the Mother wants you to know at this point of time in this reading. So now, without wasting any further time, I will get down to the reading. I will start with the first pile, and I'll put away these two piles for now. So this is pile A. For those of you who've chosen pile A, this is the beautiful Mother Bhumi, or the Mother Earth, who keeps us grounded. I will just turn around the back of the card and read what it says. O Bhumi, you are girdled by the oceans, and the mountains are your breasts, O wife of Vishnu. I offer you my salutations. Forgive me for treading on you, because we walk all the time on Mother Earth. It is Mother Earth that holds us, grounds us, nourishes our whole physical body, our entire existence, and keeps us centered and grounded. And we know what happens when Mother Earth is unhappy or when she's disturbed. It says fertility of the land, expansion and growth, profusion of natural resources, protection of the natural environment. These are some of the blessings of Mother Earth and some of the things which she takes care of for us on the earth. Now, I have these other cards now for people who've chosen pile A, and I've asked a series of questions, and each of these cards will be addressing each of those questions. So my first question was, what are your greatest underlying fears at this moment? Now I asked this question because the Devi is the ultimate embodiment of also fearlessness. There is no scope for living in fear with this energy, and she embodies fearlessness in different aspects. So this is also the time when we are especially urged to let go of any fearful thinking, of any living of our lives through the veil of fear. Fear does not exist. Fear is only a veil that keeps us separated from the divine. It is an ego-based separation. So this is for those who've chosen pile A. What is your greatest underlying fear at this moment? What is your deepest underlying fear at this point of time, whether you're aware of it or not, which blocks you from living the highest, more powerful, authentic version of yourself? And you have this card, the Eight of Swords. Now this is essentially a lot of mental activity. Now from this card, what I sense your greatest fear is somehow having to give away your power in some way, feeling helpless. You do not wish to feel helpless at any point of time, and you have this deep-rooted fear inside you that some situation or some circumstance will come when which can make you feel powerless, or which can take away your power, at which point of time you will not know what to do, because it's also possible you like to have a control over things. You absolutely like to be in control, and you have a fear of ever facing a moment or a situation or a circumstance when you feel gagged and bound, when you'll have no power or no solution to help yourself or your loved ones, and you will be on the mercy of someone else. This is, remember, but this is only a fear. Your power lies with you at all points of time. And remember, fear attracts the greater amount, greater quantity of what you fear, because that is how energy works. So this is one of your biggest underlying fear, as I said, whether you are aware of it or whether it lies in your subconscious. But if you go inside, you will realize this is true. At no point of time you wish to be gagged or bound or lose your control over how you do things or solutions that work for you. So you wish to be in control at all times. You have a fear of any situation which might take away this power, this control away from you. How can you release and heal this fear in the best possible way? So you have this card, which immediately tells me that this is about understanding that there is a greater power that controls your life, even when you feel that you need to control everything, that because that comes from the ego. It's the ego's instruction which makes you feel that everything, you have to control everything, you have to be in power all the time, and otherwise everything will fall apart. Remember that even at times when you're feeling battle worn, battled and bruised, even at that time everything can be healed if you just stay the course, because there is divine guidance. There is ultimately a higher power which sees you through your trials and struggles at all times. So remember, even at the times when you feel battle weary, worn, exhausted with your trials and struggles and challenges, remember, sometimes even when you're facing your worst, the silver lining might just be very near to you, much more nearer than you realize. So just stick it out at all times. Never lose faith in the divine. Remember, no matter how deep or how hard the challenges you might be facing at any time, don't give in to fear. Just remember that you have to stick it out, and never forget to seek for divine help and support and protection in those times. And always remember that no matter how hard it feels, light might just be a few steps away, and it always has the power to shine upon you and heal away all the bruises, all the wounds that you might have carried at this point or you might be dealing with. It can release all of those in one blink. It can heal everything that feels unhealed in your life. So that is your source of strength. That's how knowing this and working on this can help you release and heal these fears. My next question was, how can you better balance and heal the divine feminine aspects of yourself? Now, I want to mention here quickly, the divine feminine aspects of us are the aspects which are the feminine traits, so to say, to explain in a very simplistic manner, the parts of us that are nurturing, that are healing, that love to offer guidance and counseling and love, and that can see inwards, that are not just dependent on outer aggression, outer action, outer control, but that can seek answers from within, that are intuitive, that are perceptive, that are psychic, and that know how to go within for answers. The mothering aspect aspects, the nurturing aspects, the warm aspects, those are all kind of the divine feminine aspects of us. And a male who has an imbalance of divine feminine aspects can be, he can be in a state of live in a state of perpetual aggression, and he can be too scared to connect with his feminine side, like we say, and it's unfortunately that's encouraged in the present world. We tell men not to cry, we tell them not to be in touch with the divine feminine side, and that is the saddest thing we can do for men and for young boys, because that is such an important emotional aspect of us. We need both, a right balance of intellect, aggression, going inwards, and emotion. So those are the divine feminine aspects. Now, what energy can you embrace in order to balance better and heal your divine feminine aspects for deeper harmony in your life? These are all the cards based just on personality traits or different energies, and you have the Knight of Wands here. Now, the Knight of Wands is it tells you, it makes me feel that you guys can be too serious, and that can of course come from a sense of wanting to be in control, which I sense from the first card, fearing losing control. So you guys need to be way more spontaneous than you are at present. You need to let go of fears and let go of wanting to lead life with being structured and controlling everything and knowing the answer to everything and planning everything. Don't plan everything, be spontaneous. See the color orange here, that's for the sacral chakra, that's for spontaneity, for passion, for creativity. So be more spontaneous, like this horse raring to go. Be more adventurous, be more dynamic, be more energetic. Do things with friends or alone which bring you greater joy, which create the spirit of fun in you, not necessarily with the aim of gaining something, but just to gain greater joy of spirit. So be more spontaneous, be more adventurous, be more outgoing, and try to inculcate in things which bring you greater sense of joy and happiness, and work from that. And don't plan everything, go with the flow sometimes, and do silly things, and be there with friends, have fun. So this is that kind of energy. And the other card again, which I asked, was my final question was, what is an underlying strength that you have, that you guys who've chosen this pile can use or be greater aware of and can use in a bigger, bolder manner in order to heal all these unhealed aspects? What is that underlying animal spirit rather that you have, that you already have, whether you're aware of it or not, which you can make greater use of? And you guys have the Swan. This is the animal spirit that you've drawn right now. That is an underlying strength you have of grace. So underlying all this, I don't know if you're in touch with this grace aspect of you. Grace is such a beautiful, especially in terms of divine feminine, it's such a beautiful feminine quality. In fact, even a masculine quality. You can have grace in either energies. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light, help me transform into elegance and grace, inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And to me, somehow this swan also speaks of another form of the divine mother, which is worshipped by especially Hindus, and that is Mother Saraswati. This swan reminds me of her, the mother of knowledge, wisdom. So I feel you probably have a connect with her, or you can encourage a greater connect with her, and you might also have love of knowledge, of gaining more knowledge, of education, of higher learning. So you have a silent grace of things, of ability of having grace in all circumstances of life, of being graceful, and maybe graceful in your deportment. So you definitely can bring out this quality and make greater use of it. And final card, a healing card, which gives a final message of what you can do. Celestial teacher. This is wonderful, because I was just talking about how the swan reminds me of Mother Saraswati, and teacher, again, this is about learning and knowledge. So you either are someone who has a lot of love for learning, higher knowledge, gaining higher knowledge on subjects which intrigue you, or otherwise, or your profession has to do something with teaching or counseling or learning, something to do with that, or dealing with students or something of that sort. or you have a love of teaching, or you have a love of learning, or of both, and you have these qualities of reaching out to people through your wisdom and knowledge in various ways. It's for you to figure out how you have a great reservoir of knowledge, maybe general knowledge, maybe divine knowledge, maybe knowledge, esoteric knowledge, or knowledge of certain subjects in a deeper way, particular subjects. So you can definitely harness this quality, because this is part of your inner soul purpose. It will bring you joy and balance in your life. And this could also be about reaching out to a teacher for higher knowledge, or a divine teacher, or a spiritual teacher, or a teacher of any other subject you're interested in. This learning and sharing your learning and wisdom will always be something which will help you receive healing and balance the aspects of your personality, the divine feminine and the divine masculine aspects. So well, I tried to finish this reading as quickly as possible. I didn't want to stretch it too long. So guys, this was the reading for all of you who were attracted to pile 1. I hope it resonated with you, made some sense. And as I always say, this is a general reading. I have not tuned into anyone's particular energy, so take the reading as it resonates, whatever makes sense for you. And some answers can come weeks, days, or even months later. Some things can make sense and suddenly click for you from this reading. This reading is always valid. Okay. So now guys, I will move on to those of you who chose pile B, and this is Mother Ganga, the beautiful Mother Ganges, the holy river of India. She is the goddess of heavenly ambrosia or nectar, and this again is a fluid energy, beautiful, cleansing, purifying energy right out here. So this is the reading for people who were guided to her, and I will read what's at the back of the card. With folded hands, I offer you my salutations, O Ganga Devi. Please be compassionate and treat me like your own child. I pray that on my last day on earth, you will take me into your watery lap and grant me liberation from this body. And she stands for purification from sin, pacification of worldly desire, especially if someone who's rooted in too much materialism or greed, liberation at the time of death, and because it's considered a holy river, and remedy for physical disease. So this is what she stands for. Now let me get down to the reading. Now the first question again for those who chose pile B, what is your greatest underlying fear at this moment that you need to be aware of, whether you're aware of that fear or if it's deep into your subconscious. Okay, so this is quite a major card, the Chariot. This makes me feel that one of the greatest fear right now which has come out inside you is not being able to achieve the success that you feel you're worthy of, or that you are working towards. You truly are ambitious and you desire success. It might be in any way, in any profession, in any part of your life, but you are someone who feels you're worthy of success, and you're determined, and you have a fear of not being able to reach the goals and materialize, the goals which you have in your mind, the dreams which you have in your mind and which you have nurtured. You have a fear that you will not be able to make it, you will not be able to achieve the success that you're working so hard for, that you're working so in such a disciplined, focused manner for, or you fear losing focus towards your goals and scattering them and scattering your energy. This is your fear, not being able to make it, not being able to prove yourself. So what can you do to release or heal this fear? Because anything which is a fear is not right. It's not wrong to have ambition, to want to prove yourself, to shine your light, but to be in a state of fear about this or anything, that is a wound, that is an unhealed and unbalanced state. So what is it that you can do to heal this or balance it, whatever is needed? Okay, so 5 of Wands. So for this, I feel you might need to separate yourself from negative energies, negative people, negative vibrations, whether it's people at work related to this or people around you in your environment, in order to stay with greater focus towards your goal and be surrounded only by light and positive energies that flow from the divine, support that flows from the divine and keeps you on track and supports you fully and wholly. Make sure that you are separated from negative energies. You're separated from those who pull you down, who do not believe in you, or who try to bring you down or belittle you, you do not allow them to take away your power, or to make a dent in your spirit. So stay away from these energies. Do not be part of this pack, and do not also participate in this kind of pack in relation to any other person. So separate from these energies, and they will also hinder you from being centered towards your goal. You will only end up scattering your energies, the precious energies which you need for following your dreams. So that's the guidance. How can you better balance and heal your divine feminine aspects for deeper harmony in your life? So what energy, what trait can you embody to heal your divine feminine aspects or balance them? So King of Pentacles. Now this is interesting, because King of Pentacles is someone, I think, who really goes with this first card, because this is about ambition, and the King of Pentacles is someone who's at top of his game, an ambitious person who has come a long way, and now he's at top of the game where he can afford to sit nicely, cozily, because he's done his work, he's created his fortune, he's fulfilled his ambition, and now he guides other people through that wisdom and that he's received through all these years before reaching this point. So see how comfortable he is, how relaxed he sits. He is in total confidence of his self. There's no hurry, there's no energy of anxiety. So this is how you can heal yourself, by embodying this energy, this trait of patience. And this is also a greater guidance for you to heal your divine feminine aspects, because if you don't heal it, it might block your vision, it might block you from healing. So this is about being patient and not taking shortcuts for reaching your goal. Do not forget, at any time, anything worth achieving, anything worth reaching is not it is rarely possible through shortcuts, because anything which is achieved quickly or shortcuts, it has a quicker fall. That is kind of like the rule of nature. So make sure that whatever you're trying to reach, you're not taking shortcuts, you are taking the patient and the right and the justified way, and an approach of integrity. You are learning the ropes the right way, you're really grounding yourself in what you're aiming at, learning everything along the way, leaving no loopholes, being patient, gathering all the right wisdom and knowledge that you need to be at the top of the game to reach where you want to be. This is the approach that will work for you, not shortcuts, or not an approach without integrity, or a corrupt approach, or anything which is like a quick fix. So embody this patient, solid, grounded energy towards your goals and in your character, in your personality. Finally, what is the animal spirit that you can use for this and for overall balancing of whatever needs balancing, the divine feminine and divine masculine aspects? So what animal energy, strength do you have already underlying, whether you're aware of it or not, which you can make greater use of? Wonderful. This is the Raven the Shaman. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Again, wisdom. This is associated with, as I said, wisdom. He's not reached here without learning anything just like that, in the snap of a finger. Not like that. It's taken his time learning, patience, embodying a lot of things. So connect with the elemental spirits, glide through the world, claim your power as keeper of the mystery. So this tells me you are a person who is deep, or who has the capacity to be deep and not do things superficially, which is great, perfectly goes with your spread. You are someone who can be connected to deeper mysteries, to deeper knowledge, to deeper wisdom, which does not easily come to everyone. So if it's about a subject, if it's about a core subject or a core field where you're working in, you have the ability to really go deep and extract the mysteries and know all there is to know from the depths. So that is the kind of spirit. So even generally in your life, when there's something, this is a guidance to go deep. Again, not about shortcuts. There's nothing superficial about the Raven. This is about secrets and mysteries and going deep with knowledge, extracting things, deepest knowledge, not known to everyone, not exposed to everyone. So this is about that. And finally, the overall healing guidance card for you is Be still. I love how the cards connect. I always say that I love how they connect to every reading, the cards in every pile, how they connect to each other. You know, I just pick them out separately and yet they make a whole story, and it's so beautiful. That's the wonderful guidance of spirit and the higher self. And in this case, of course, the Devis, the mother's energy, which I asked for before beginning this reading, which I asked for connecting to these cards. So it says be still. Now if you see this card, this is such a flurry of action, focus, dedicated action with the horses. He has no time to stop. He's, you know, charging towards his goal, he or she, with focus. And this is a guidance of being still. So this is, nothing could be more beautiful. So for me, this speaks of the divine masculine aspects of action, of charging ahead and thinking that action is always in actual physical action. And this to me talks of the divine feminine aspects, which says that not all the action is physical action. A lot of action is inner action, and you need to find the balance, when to be out in outer action, when to take outer steps or actions or charge ahead physically, when to find answers from within, and to just be. There are times for not doing anything. Sometimes not doing anything is the right action, and you have to find the right balance of being still, or maybe meditating more, or maybe finding some ways to be in touch with your quieter self at times when you're not charging ahead towards your goals, because this will bring you the most inspired inputs ever from spirit in relation to all you need to live an empowered life. Be still sometimes. Allow yourself to be in a zone of no action and connected to spirit. Meditate, be in silence, be still. Let go of wanting to do everything. Let go of the need to do something at all times. You don't need to. Don't be restless in wanting to do some action at all times. The most beautiful piece of guidance. So well guys, this was for people for pile who chose pile B, and now I come to my final pile C, and this is for people who chose this beautiful pile. This is Gayatri Devi, and she is the mother of devotion. So I immediately feel that maybe some of you are truly devoted to some form of mother, and you, because there are various forms of reaching the divine. So I feel that for some of you, this is the card. This is the Bhakti Yoga is the part that many of you take. Bhakti Yoga, which is known as, in Hinduism, you have Jnana Yoga, you have Raj Yoga, you have various ways, and Bhakti Yoga is the part that many of you guys take for reaching the divine, and you might be totally devoted to some aspect of the divine or specifically of Mother Earth. So this is the card for you guys. And let's see what's written at the back. It says, O Gayatri, you are the personification of Brahman. You are the goddess of knowledge, the divine twilight. You are ageless and immortal. You are the mother of the Vedic knowledge. I bow down to you. And she stands for peace of mind, spiritual knowledge, greater concentration, and ability to please all the gods. So I feel some of you might be on this path, and you might be guided or drawn towards spiritual knowledge, and peace of mind means a lot for you. So this is good news for you guys. So okay, let me come to this part. The first question: what are the greatest underlying fear? What is one of your greatest underlying fear that the divine mother wishes to make you aware of at this point of time, which blocks you from living a fully whole and authentic life? 6 of Cups. So I feel that some of you are living in the past. I somehow feel that this card, in terms of fear, it says to me that you have a fear of abandonment. You have a fear, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether it's subconscious or you're consciously aware of it, you have a fear, an insecurity rather, of being abandoned, of losing people you love, of losing your friends, of losing your roots, of losing all that is close to you. Or if you're someone who lives away from your home in another city or another country, losing all those people who were part of your childhood, losing the warmth and the affection or the bonds with your family members, losing your place in their life. You know, that fear of abandonment, this can also cause some of you to be clingy and always live in the back, you know, this. So I would relate someone who's, you know, like always talking about childhood memories or college days or school days, to the extent that it becomes an obsession and they're not able to live in their present. So, you know, they're not able to find anything good in the present, and they're always comparing things to how things were with friends in the canteen and in childhood and the college. So that kind of thing. So if this is obsessive, this is a kind of a fear of abandonment, fear of, you know, you're almost, you can become clingy and living too much in back memories, nostalgia, dreaming, daydreaming about things that they were, you know. So this, and what is it that you can do? How can you release and heal this now? Okay. So the High Priest, it's a major card, it's a major arcana card. So for me, this speaks about being in your power. This is a fear which you need to release, and you need to if it's a fear which comes from maybe from past life because you were abandoned or something, higher knowledge, a higher spiritual knowledge is something which can help you release these fears, so that you know that there is no separation, there is no sense of separation. If something is meant to be part of your life, it always will be, no matter what. And if something is not meant to be a part of your life, you will never feel, you will never be not taken care of by the universe in the absence of those people or those energies. So you have nothing to fear. This is about, to me, it speaks about a kind of, you know, standing, being centered, grounded, unafraid, knowing that you are taken care of, and depending on that higher knowledge of spirit to let go of these fears of separation, of being abandoned, of being vulnerable, being alone. So know that you are the spirit itself, and seek higher knowledge, higher wisdom from spirit, or whether it's esoteric knowledge or something which will give you that faith and make you know that you're not alone. And this could also be about a higher, someone who has this wisdom, a person in your life, or maybe some spiritual personality, or, you know, maybe like people listen to spiritual things or spiritual teachers. So maybe those kinds of things can help you and give you a greater sense of, you know, empowerment and lesser vulnerability, help you release these fears, because you know you are part of the light itself. You'll never be alone. And if someone is meant to be part of your life, they always will be. You don't have to live in fear. So connect with this kind of wisdom from where it comes to you, whether it's through people or from other sources, and know that you are connected to the divine. And okay, this is about the personality trait, the energy which you are asked to embody, the divine feminine, the energy you're asked to embody to balance the divine feminine aspects in you which might be imbalanced. So for me, this is Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is someone who speaks her mind, who is not afraid to speak her mind and calling a spade a spade. She is not someone who is cruel. She's not someone who does not care. She's just someone who does not tolerate fools. She's just someone who does not feel the need to go out of the way to please people, or to mince her words, or to say inauthentic or wrong or false things. She knows when to use emotions and when to stay clear of emotions. She does not allow her emotions to blind her from doing the right thing and taking the right fair decisions. And she is a fair person. She's a fair and just person who is fair and just, who for all people in her life. That is her typical trait. So you are being asked to this person, be this person, embody this energy to help you heal your unhealed divine feminine aspects. And I feel somehow, if I connect this card with this, I feel that this fear of abandonment somehow often makes you be inauthentic. You try to be a people pleaser at times because you fear you'll be judged, you fear you'll be abandoned, you fear if you do not do things to please people in your life, you will be abandoned, or you'll be alone, or there's just that guilt inside you, or insecurity, or all those things which are absolutely not required. They're not working for you. So you need to embody more of this energy, saying what is right, what is fair, what you mean, and not saying things to please people, not being inauthentic. So that inauthenticity comes from this fear. So this is your message, to embody more of this energy. Finally, the animal spirit, which you have already. Now, you might not be aware of this, but this is one underlying strength you already have. And see how wonderful this self-reliance. So there is no need of these fears. See, this also speaks of the same energy. You're being guided to it, and you already have a lot of it. You might not be aware of it, but you can now call it into action. Become more aware of it, and ask yourself to use more of it. You are self-reliant at the core. It's only the upper illusions of fear and which are blocking you. And so this is the energy of the snow leopard. See what dignity, grace. Do you think the snow leopard would ever be afraid of anything and be anything other than self-reliant? So you are strongly independent and often solitary. So maybe you have the strength to be solitary, but maybe it's you fear being solitary because of all these things. You fear being solitary, and even though you can be solitary, but you feel being solitary means that you'll be left alone, or you'll be vulnerable, and you'll not have support from others. So it says integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. So don't worry so much about outer things, outer reactions, people pleasing, and being part of groups and this and that. Go inwards, follow your intuition. That'll guide you. That will also guide you which are the people who are right for you, who are worthy of keeping in your life, who are worthy of going out of your way for, and who are not, because you are in this position of self-reliance and absolute power. Bring out this energy. You already have it within you. And your final healing card is wonderful, balance. See, so a balance of this, a balance of honoring people who have been part of your life, your childhood, and a balance of being this. So you can honor your past, you can honor the people in your life, your friends and your past, and your schoolmates and your college mates, and all your present relationships here and there and everywhere, without being clingy or living in the past or dreaming or feeling that you'll be abandoned or anything. Follow the balance of self-reliance and being with people, or taking care of bonds. Not all bonds are meant to be part of your life. Not all bonds are right for you. Often too many bonds can be just quantity. So don't value quantity, value quality. Have a balance. See, this is Om in meditation. Have a balance of being in self-reliance, in solitude, alone, and or of your need for being in company and managing those relationships without which you feel your life will not do. Okay, so this is your guidance. So I think these were some wonderfully beautiful guidances. I really enjoyed giving them, and the mother's energy, the divine mothers, the divine feminine energy really spoke to me through all of these three piles, and I truly hope that you felt the same. And these cards and these messages on the occasion of Navratri, they'll be valid even any time after Navratri. I truly hope they brought some sense of healing and perspective and greater clarity for you, and helping you feel more empowered. So I hope for all of you that you are able to bring greater balance and understanding about the divine feminine and divine masculine aspects of your life. And with that, take care, and I hope to connect once again in another tarot reading guidance. Thank you. Bye bye.